It's Computer Stuff with Carl Blemming.
This is going to be a video about my experience with laptop stands. Now, the reason I got interested in these is that my main computer is not a desktop computer, it's a laptop, but it's a large laptop which is meant to be a desktop replacement. And I discovered I was getting a lot of like stiffness in my back and back pain, mostly because I was just, the laptop was flat on the desk and I was kind of hunched over for long periods of time, and that was kind of it's kind of bad on your posture. And if you look at ergonomic type websites, they say that the top of your screen should be about even with your eye level. So what I wanted to do was get something that could elevate the laptop up so that the screen would be higher and I wouldn't have to hunch over so much when I used it. Now let me show you what I'm working with here. This is my laptop. It's a System 76 Serval Professional with a 15-inch screen. And I also recently purchased a separate keyboard, which is this. It's a Unicomp Customizer, which, if you don't know what these are, these use the same buckling spring key technology that the old IBM keyboards used. So they're noisy, but I could probably do a whole video about this, but I really like typing on this keyboard. It's much better than typing on a laptop keyboard. So I would like to use this as part of my setup if possible. And this is my desk. I've got this hutch thing set up back here to hold my my radio, books, filing system here. So I want to keep that there. So this gives me about 19 or 20 inches of desk space to work with. And if I put the computer here, there's very little room here. Of course, not enough for the keyboard. And this is an antique desk that is not very wide here. This is only about 20 inches wide underneath the desk, which is not wide enough to install an under-the-desk keyboard tray. So what I was looking for in a laptop stand was to raise the screen up, hopefully provide some way that I could use my new keyboard, and also I was concerned about cooling on the laptop. The exhaust fan for the cooling system is on the bottom, so I wanted to make sure that I had some good airflow. Okay, so this is the first one I bought. It's a Logitech Alto Connect notebook stand. See, it comes in two pieces like this, and it's very solid. And this surface here is kind of like a rubberized non-stick surface, and it turns up at the bottom to keep the laptop from sliding forward. There's one nice feature of this that I don't use actually, is that it has a built-in USB hub, which is powered. It comes with this AC adapter, which plugs in somewhere here, I think, and then you take this USB connector, plug that into your computer, and then you have 3 powered USB ports that you can use to connect to external devices like printers, scanners, external drives, whatever. And also on the front there's another one for thumb drives, which is handy because you don't have to reach out and back and try and unplug something and plug something else in. You just plug it right in there. The laptop on the stand, and my eye level is right about here, so it's maybe like 1.5 inches too low, but it is still pretty good. See, it brings it up at an angle, and it has a it has a hard drive in here, but it's okay to have a hard drive at an angle. That doesn't hurt it. And I found when I'm sitting here, I can still use my scroll bar. I have a trackball I use as a pointing device instead of a mouse or instead of this, so that works well. And as far as typing, it's kind of inconvenient to type at an angle like this. It's not very easy to do. But if I need to just, type in a password, it's fine. But for, real typing, it's kind of uncomfortable. So if I put this all the way back and put the keyboard here, see, this is one problem with this laptop stand, is that it doesn't really fit. I have to put this farther back than I usually do, and I've got this giant keyboard in my way here. It could work, but it's just not a good setup. When I'm not using this, what do I do with it? I gotta unplug it or find some place to stash it. Now, when I saw that Alto Connect laptop stand I think I saw it on Amazon, I wasn't really I wasn't sure it would work out for me, but I thought I'd try it because it normally has a list price of $95, but I found it on sale for $25. So I figured if it doesn't work out, at least I can probably resell it. So I got that, and I was using it for a while, but the problem with the keyboard being cumbersome, I decided to look for something else. The next one I bought was something called the Mstand by Rain Design. Now, I don't have this anymore because I returned it. It cost me $50, and it's all aluminum, it's all one piece, and it's made for Macintosh laptop computers. And my computer's not a Mac, but I thought I'd try it anyway because I like the design. I'm going to show you a picture. I took a couple pictures of my laptop on it, which I'm going to show you. I like this laptop stand because it was not adjustable for one thing, but that didn't bother me because the screen was high enough, and also it was kind of pitched. The whole laptop was kind of moved forward so that it was over the keyboard on the desk. So it was closer, and I wouldn't have to lean forward and kind of squint to see really tiny text on the screen. And if you look, you can see it, because it's curved, it has a space underneath it where I could slide the keyboard back when I'm not using it. So I like the idea of this, but it didn't really work out for me. Now, if you look at the side view of my computer on this, you can see that it's just kind of balancing on the back. It's not really securely in the stand. Now, the Macintosh aluminum laptops have a flat bottom, so that it would make contact with these two tabs, which have rubber pads on the inside, on the front. But mine doesn't have a flat bottom, so it was just kind of rocking back and forth on the back and wouldn't make contact with the front. So it didn't really work out for me, and I decided to return it. Now, when I did return the Mstand, the same mail order company had a special offer on another laptop stand, and it was this one, the Xbrand height adjustable laptop stand, and this was only $15. So I figured I would try this out. So this is what it looks like. It has these wheels on the bottom so it can rotate. It's all plastic. It's not powered, and there's no USB hub on it. But I didn't really need that because my laptop has two USB ports in the back, and that's all I need really for the keyboard and the trackball. has this button that you push and then you slide, and it has like 3 preset positions. And this is what it looks like. It has this this bar here, which kind of gets in the way of using the trackpad a little bit. But it's a good height. It's about the same as the Alto Connect, and it's on coasters, so I can turn it. But I have the exact same problem with the keyboard. There's really no, if I want the laptop close enough where I can easily read the screen, then there's no room for the keyboard. If I push it all the way back, this is a little too far back, plus I have this giant keyboard in the way. When I'm not using it, I want to stash it somewhere. I still have this one. I was using it with one of my other computers, but I'm not sure I want to keep it. I may end up giving it to somebody, but I mean, it was only $15, so it's not a big loss. Or I might be able to resell it, I don't know. And because I hadn't really found a solution, I was still looking, and I went into a Staples office supply store, and I saw something called an Alsop Metal Art monitor stand. And I'll show you a picture of that. This is meant for raising monitors up, but it has this flat surface, which is made of metal, and it has all these holes in it, so I figured it would be good for ventilation. And I could set the laptop down flat on this, and then because it has the space underneath, I could move the keyboard back and store it underneath the computer when it's not being used. And I did have my desk set up with this monitor stand for I don't know, about a week. And that one cost me about $25. Just from using it, it seemed like the screen was not high enough for me. Plus, it was also too far back, and it wasn't really it was not adjustable, of course. And also with the keyboard there, it was still kind of clumsy and taking up a lot of desk space, even when it was stored underneath it. So I don't know, maybe my keyboard is just too big for my desk. So what I ended up doing with this is bringing it to work, and I'm using it to raise up my actual monitor at my desk at work. So what I ended up doing was going back to the first one, the Alto Connect, this X-shaped stand, because it raises the screen to a good height. It does pitch it forward a little bit, so it's in a good range between my face and the screen. It's not really adjustable, but it's very solid. It doesn't move around at all, and the laptop does not move. And when I have the laptop on there, the exhaust fan is there's nothing underneath it, so there's nothing to obstruct the fan, which is good. So it has this good ventilation. So it's turned out to be the best option for me, with the exception of not being able to use the Unicomp keyboard with it. If you have any suggestions for other things I could try, please let me know. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's going to be a link underneath the video where you can go to this video on my webpage, where I will have a link to all of these different laptop stands, so you can check them out for yourself. So that's it. Thanks for watching.